channel, guys. As you can see, we are here at a workshop. Guys, I want you to meet Dave from Protekt Auto. I've been coming to Dave for, this is probably like an annual visit, I feel like.
Pretty much, yeah. We've seen each other pretty regularly lately.
So we've got the Model X here. We're going to do some work to it. Dave, do you want to just give a quick intro on what you guys do and what we're going to do to the car today? So I'll give that to you.
Sure thing. So again, my name's David from Protekt Auto. We specialise in all automotive aftermarket protection. So things like ceramic coatings, paint protection film, window tint and interior protections. It doesn't just limit itself just to protecting the paint and interior. We also do wheels, glass. We can pretty much protect the whole vehicle in with different products and materials.
All right, cool. Thank you. And so talk to us. What are we doing with the car today? And I might actually bring the camera around. So bring you guys with me. All right, so I'll give you the mic again.
Yeah.
Talk to us, what are we going to do?
All right, so we have this booked in for our graphene paint protection coating. So the process of that will be, we'll start off with prepping up the vehicle, which includes a wash, decontamination, a polishing stage, and then we do an alcohol wipe down just to make sure that the paintwork's 100% clean before we actually apply the coating, just so we can ensure that the coating bonds directly onto the paintwork and doesn't have any issues breaking down later on in the future. So yeah, the coating will be applied to all the exterior painted panels. We go over things like the chrome trims, the pillars as well, head and tail lights, just to give it more of a consistent finish all around. We also have it in for ceramic window tint. We're going for all the side and the rear glass. What you can see is that this does have privacy glass on the rear, so we'll balance out the tint and kind of customize it to whichever specs that Roland wants to get for his car.
And Dave, I know some people want to ask, what's illegal tinting in New South Wales? Is that something you could tell us?
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so with the legal tints in New South Wales, for the front door windows, darkest legal is 35%, and then the rear door windows, which you can go as dark as 20%. What you see with the Model X here is that the rear has privacy glass on it, which is normally at 20% already. So if we're tinting that and keeping it legal, we actually use a very like a light film for that, so which is like an 80% film. So it doesn't darken it out anymore, but it still provides all the UV and infrared protection. The front door windows, even though it looks clear, it's not 100% clear. They're normally at about 70 to 75%. So to balance that out and keep it legal, we use a 45% film, and then metered out with the glass, it'll bring it down to roughly about the 35%. So it keeps it all legal, so it doesn't cause any issues as far as registration or any issues with insurance claims.
Cool. And also, can you tint the front or the back of the vehicle? Because I know some people really like their privacy.
Yeah. So when we tint, we do tint all the sides and the rear glass. Windscreens, if you're talking legally, you cannot tint windscreens because the windscreen is already at its darkest legal shade, which is at 70%. They're a laminated glass, so it's basically two pieces of glass with a piece of film in the middle. And unfortunately, that piece of film in the center keeps it at 70% already. So not advisable to tint it, but if you do have an exemption from like a medical exemption, you can tint the front windscreens.
Dave. All right, guys, you heard that. So medical exemption only, guys. Nothing cheeky. All right, cool. Thanks for all of that, Dave. Now, I want to talk about paint colours. Yep. So you've got some white cars we can see in the background there. Our car's obviously midnight silver. You've also got a really cool colour that you're starting to see in a lot of other manufacturers. This is the BYD Sea Lion 6, I believe. I don't know the specific colour name, but it's quite nice. Can you talk to us about what colours are easier to maintain than others? And is it something, if some people were, I guess, tossing up between colours, is it easier to pick, say, a white colour as opposed to a black? I mean, I know that answer's yes, but you're the expert. I'll let you talk a bit more about that.
Sure thing. All right. So as a lot of people already know, black is one of the hardest colours to maintain. Now, you'll have paints which are like a solid black or metallic, or have metallics in it. Solid colours are always harder to maintain because they will show up more defects. There's nothing to kind of like reflect the light like metallics do. The more metallics that are in the paint, it'll reflect the light in different directions, so it'll make it harder to see certain imperfections. And also, like the lighter the color, the less likely you're going to see imperfections as well. So if you're talking in terms of maintenance, silvers, lighter metallic greys, like what we saw on the BYD. This is kind of like you say it's kind of like a bit of like a crayon type color, but it does have a metallic through it as well. So things like this, you won't notice really things like swirl marks, light webbing, things that generally occur when you're washing your vehicle. Now, if you're talking things like white is great because it's same thing. It doesn't show up defects, but when you get dirt on it, if you get splatter, it does show up a lot more compared to like somewhat your darker colored cars. But overall, my favorite color to maintain would be the gunmetal greys or any type of silvers. So these look really great with like coatings on it. It gives a really nice finish. And same thing, it doesn't show up as much defects as some of the darker colored cars.
Good to know, because we originally didn't plan on getting this second car in the same color. But there you go, guys. That's your insights on colors. So we're going to talk about some tints now. So as you guys can see, the front, Dave's mentioned, is not really tinted yet, but there is, I guess, some coloration. I don't know what you'd call it. And there's privacy glass on the back. We're going to test the, what do you call it, UVs?
Yeah, so we have a UV or light transmission meter, which shows, you can see the VLT, which is how clear the glass or the film is, your UV rating, and then your infrared rating.
All right, so we're going to test that because I don't want to sit in a fishbowl and it really burns in the car. And the other thing I wanted to ask Dave is, if we're talking about, when people talk about getting tints, they go, I feel really hot in the car. What figure, which one is it they're referring to?
So mainly it's the infrared rays, because that's the ones that you actually can feel when you're in the car. So when you're sitting in the driver's seat, passenger seat, wherever, and you get the sun shining through the glass, and you get that burning feeling in your skin, that's your infrared rays. So you really want to knock that down, just to make it more comfortable for all the occupants in the vehicle.
All right, cool. So let's have a look at this car in particular and see what we get.
Slip it over there. So as you can see, the glass is roughly about 80% clear. It has a UV rating of roughly about 53-54%, and has some IR rejection, so around about 75. Now, the benefit of putting tint, even though you do have some rejection, UV and IR rejection here, the benefit of putting window tint on it is actually to insulate the glass and really increase the UV and the IR rejection. So if you're using something like a ceramic tint, that's really going to bump these up close to 100% UV and infrared rejection. But it also insulates the glass and prevents heat from traveling through it, making the cabin more insulated. So if you do have the aircon on, it'll cool it down much faster and keep the cool temperature in there.
That's awesome. Can you talk to us about the different tints that you guys have here that people can consider if they're going to do it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so we carry a range of, two ranges of ceramic tints, which are most popular, and then also a standard carbon-based or color-stable-based film. The color-stable films are more for aesthetics. It does block out UV, but doesn't reduce the heat as much as what the ceramics do. Our most popular ceramic is the mid-range one, which is the XBEL XR Prime, which is what we're going to be using on this. That one will reject roughly with the film on its own, will reject 76% infrared, but with the glass already rejecting a good amount, that's really going to bump it up towards like the high 90s.
All right, Dave, thanks for all the insights on everything. I won't bother you with too much more. I'll let you and the team start to work on the car. So guys, we're going to fast forward to the video on picking up this car, and I'll show you guys everything once it's all done. So again, thanks Dave for your time, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks a lot, Roland. We'll get cracking on it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Alright, so with the specs of the window tinting at the moment, there is none, but you saw the specs. This is essentially how it looks like from the inside. So you've seen the outside, this is essentially what I see on the inside, and then I'll actually show you the back seats as well. You can see with the privacy glass it is definitely more tinted, but there you go. So hopefully no more fishbowl coming up.
3 days later.
Welcome back, guys. We are here back with Dave at Protekt Auto. Dave,
Hey.
the car looks amazing. Haven't shown it to everyone yet, but I'll give you this and just talk us through how everything went.
Everything went pretty smoothly with this. So what we did first, we started off with the window tint. So the window tint, we applied the ceramic film 80% onto the front door windows, and then the 80% film to the back ones. So with this one in particular, we just wanted to try blend in the front windows to the back privacy glass, just to give them a bit more of a consistent look. So that's why we went with 80% on the front, and yeah, didn't go any darker on the back one, just more a clear one to provide the UV and the infrared rejections. Now with this one, with the frameless windows, you'll see this one here doesn't have the frame around the windows, so this particular application is pretty straightforward. We don't have to remove any trims or anything on these front door panels. The film just kind of slides right in. The one that we had to do a little bit more work with was the rear door one. So we'll just open it up. All right, so this inside piece here with the Alcantara or the suede trim around it, we had to remove that and just pop back the top section of the door trim to remove the inner seal. Reason for doing that is that we want to get the film on in one kind of like hit, just so it doesn't pick up any contamination. Now, if you're trying to do it with this piece still on, because there's a lot of fibers and stuff, if it draws into the film, you're going to get contamination, dust and everything into the film, and it's just going to look pretty average. So that's why we do that. Other than that, tints was pretty straightforward. Now then after that we moved on to the preparation of the vehicle. We carried out a full wash, de-wax, decontamination process, which included a chemical decontamination along with a manual clay bar treatment. That's just to remove any imperfections and, not imperfections, but contamination on the surface before we do the actual polishing. So we moved on to the polishing after that. There were some like light surface marks which we focused on a little bit more just to, give it more of a consistent finish around the whole vehicle. And after that was done, a full alcohol wipe down to remove any polish residue. And then, we applied the graphene coating to all the exterior paintwork. And also we treated the headlights and any other smooth plastics on the surface, just so there's a consistent finish with the properties on the exterior, and it's all completely protected. So we also applied some PPF to the inner door seals, because that is kind of like a main wear and tear area. And also, when people are getting in and out, you don't want your feet kicking up against these areas. So we applied a matte film onto this interior scuff plate, but also this painted surface area here, we applied a gloss film, because when you're getting in and out, your feet generally kicks up against it. And a similar thing to the rears. Slightly different on the rear one, as we have that scuff plate, which is the same as the front, but we applied a matte film onto this black area here. So that'll prevent all your scuffs, scratches, and if it does cop a little bit of wear and tear, the benefit of PPF is that you can just remove it and then replace the material, and it's going to look 100% again.
And Dave, if you're okay, we might as well check the UV meter reading again, just for everyone to see.
Yep, we'll pop this onto the glass. Now with this ceramic tint, now you can see it's really bumped the UV rating up to 100%, so it's got 100% UV rejection. And then the infrared rejection, we are sitting at 93, 94%, so that's a good increase, and you're going to really feel the difference inside the vehicle, especially on a hot summer day.
All right, that's a wrap, guys. So thank you to Dave and the team at Protekt Auto for taking care of us this year again. Any final words?
Look, if you're after any paint protection, window tinting, or even like detailing services, hit us up on our socials. We have a YouTube channel, Protekt Auto as well, or you can reach out to us, check out our website.
Awesome, thanks again. And just full disclaimer, I am a paying customer. I did not get this for free. So definitely a satisfied customer as always. So reach out to Dave and the team to get your car protected. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon.